What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Blown Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm waiverwirequeen. It is Mock Friday. Today we are going to do a mock draft for a Superflex league, and this is a startup draft, so it's going to be long as hell, but I'm going to do my best to get through it quickly. Along the way, I'll give you some of my thoughts on some sleepers, and that is for current players and as well as rookies. I'll discuss some of my top 5 players at each position. I'm just going to give you some gems to help you get ready for your upcoming drafts, or if you've already drafted, players for you to check for on waivers. Let's get it.
Welcome to the Blown Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast with Waiver Wire Queen.
All right, y'all, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel. We have a lot of great content, which is going to help you prepare for your upcoming fantasy football season, because the ultimate goal is to win your league, and you definitely have to do your homework and research in order to prepare and beat your competition. That is the ultimate goal. Win, win, win. That is all we're trying to do. We're going to do this mock via the Sleeper app. And again, it's going to be long because it is a startup league. So bear with me. Let's have some fun. It's Friday. It's after 7 p.m. out here. Let's have some fun. It's the weekend time. It's all about fun, y'all. Let's go. All right. So this draft, again, is going to be via the Sleeper app. It is a 12-team league, which is a lot, obviously. However, I'll say probably about 6-7 years ago, I used to be in leagues that had 16 teams, and now it seems like the standard has become 12. Most guys I play with, they don't even like to touch 14 and 16 teams in the league. So I'm just going to claim the last, because this will give me time to talk, because y'all already know that's what it's going to be, a lot of talking. So let's get ready to start this draft. All right, let's get right to it. No surprise here. Again, I don't care what anyone tells you, this is a Superflex league. So in most Superflex leagues, people are going to get their quarterback. In a Superflex league, if Josh Allen is the first quarterback off the board or first player off the board, I am fine with that. Some people have a difference of opinion there. And again, at the end of the day, you make that ultimate decision. However, if you're in a 2-quarterback league or a Superflex league, because most people like to start 2 quarterbacks in a Superflex league, you want to make sure you have good quarterbacks. And if you don't, trust, it's going to hurt you at some point. So let's see who is on the board. I did a live draft a week ago, and Desean Watson went in the top 5. We don't know what's going to happen with him yet. I got the option of Cooper Kupp. He, in some drafts, has been the first wide receiver off the board, or the third. Jamar Chase as the first wide receiver off the board. It's a good move, in my opinion. Now, right here at the end of the first round, this is good value, and I'm going to take a chance. I normally tell people to stay away from CMC, but I'm going to take him at the end of the first round, which is good. I don't recommend drafting him in the top 5, because we all know with CMC, it's just nothing but injuries. And that is a concern for me. So am I going to go for a quarterback? I want to see what kind of running backs and wide receivers. So I can easily go Cooper Kupp right here. So I'm just going to do the Cooper Kupp thing since he's still here. Wow. Okay. Again, let's going back to CMC. You have to be careful with him. If you're going to take the chance and gamble on him with a top 3 pick, you already know what to expect, right? Potentially, you know what has happened over the last few seasons. If you drafted him in the top 3, you know that he hasn't been available to your team. And so your team simply hasn't, performed. And you don't want to risk drafting a top 3 player using a top 3 pick on a player and they're not available. That's going to kill your team. Trust me. Now looking at the roster. This is also a 2 tight end league. So, I have to prepare for that. I have a running back and I have a quarterback. Now I want to just see what kind of, I have a running back and a wide receiver. I just want to see what type of, quarterbacks on the board. As you can see, it's getting real scary at that position right now. I still don't trust Lawrence and Justin Fields. I have 2 back-to-back picks. So what I am going to do is just continue to address positions. This is not bad for Tyreek Hill. I don't expect Tyreek Hill to last that long. Even though with Tua there's a lot of uncertainty, I still expect Tyreek Hill to go higher. If he's not going in the first round still in most drafts, he's definitely gonna go in the second round. Third round is extremely shocking. Taking Aaron Rodgers because I just trust that he will get the job done for my team. Keep in mind, this is a dynasty league, so I definitely have to ensure that I have some young talent on my team as well. And I'm going to do that. Need another running back to, round off this beautiful running back group. So I have CMC. I do need a tight end, and I'm gonna take a tight end. Well, I'm gonna go and grab my other. I'm gonna wait on tight end. I'm gonna grab me a nice running back here, and I'm looking at some of these guys to see who I should take. I definitely like Montgomery this season. Who else? James Conner should be good this year because I still believe they don't really have anyone else that's going to be reliable. But I'm gonna go with Montgomery. I do not trust CMC. He's going to be splitting carries. That's it. I don't trust him. And again, I may go and grab my quarterback. So I'm going to go right here and I'm going to pair Tua and Tyreek Hill together. I'm going to pair those 2 guys, which is not a bad move. Let's get into some players who are must drafts for me at the wide receiver position. Darnell Mooney and Michael Pittman Jr. must drafts. Michael Pittman Jr. has a better quarterback, which means he's going to have a better season. Darnell Mooney had a very good season with Justin Fields, considering, Justin Fields struggled all season long. Mooney was able to still get over 1,000 yards. I expect him to be better. I expect both of them to be better. Mooney, number 1. Who else is there at the wide receiver position that you're truly going to trust for the Bears? No one else. However, I do expect Justin Fields to be a little bit better. And if he's going to be a little bit better, that's going to help. And you shouldn't be concerned about drafting Mooney. And Pittman, very good season, had a breakout year last year. And I expect him to be even better with a better quarterback because I still believe, even at this stage of his career, I still think Matt Ryan is better than second cousins, not Kirk Cousins, Carson Wentz. I can't even remember his name, y'all. So right here, I think it's a good time for me to just snatch up one of these tight ends. So I'm taking Dalton Schultz. He is definitely the number 1, and that is it's simply what it's going to be. I honestly feel like Rashad Bateman is going to have a very good season this year, considering, guess what? No other number 1. Okay, they traded away Hollywood. So what do you expect? You're going to see Bateman more involved. Obviously, we know that Andrews is Jackson's number 1. So, that's just what it is. And keeping it going with the tight ends, Brevin Jordan, I expect him to have a very good season this year. Cole Kemet had a really sneaky, solid season this past year. I expect him to get even better. These guys are going to get better because I expect Justin Fields to be better. Okay? Justin Fields being better, that's going to help this team tremendously. Now, let's see what else we have here. I'm just not a fan of Claypool. I'll tell you, when you are drafting in a dynasty league, you definitely want to make sure you get some young players as well. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna go Kareem Hunt here because I do like Kareem Hunt, and since I just got a running back, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the running back position. I really like Gesicki. These guys right here, Gesicki, I really like this season. I do feel like he may underperform slightly because Tyreek Hill is obviously gonna take up some of that. Cole, Clement, I already told you he's gonna be good this year. Noah, fine. He was solid with Drew Lock or whoever they're going to have out there. I feel like he's going to perform better if Geno Smith's the starting quarterback. Just my opinion. Zach Ertz played very good last year, so draft him with confidence. And this is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump down here and I'm just going to go and get me an older tight end. That's right, y'all. I took the older tight end. It happens. Let's go on back to talk about some of these breakout players. Zach Wilson, the Jets had a very good draft. They've added some really good young players. They have Wilson. They have Brees Hall. They added Jeremy Ruckert. They added some players during free agency. They've built that team nicely around Zach Wilson. So now it's going to be on Zach Wilson. Is he ready? Is he going to take the next step? Yes, I think he is going to take the next step. He showed some signs this past season, and I expect him to do more of that this upcoming season. Just simple as that. So right now, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna take James Robinson just to add another running back. I like having running backs. Albert. Oh, I always call him Albert O, so I don't mess up his name. He should have a really solid year. He should be the starter, although the Broncos drafted Dulcich. I expect at some point Dulcich to be in the mix. However, Alberto should have a very good season for you. So if you are considering drafting him, go on and draft him with confidence because he's going to play for you. He's going to play very, very well. I liked Keontae Ingram a little bit more prior to the Cardinals signing the Chiefs, former running back. Gainwell, he's going to be the backup this year. Let's see if he can get on the field. If Miles Sanders isn't capable of remaining healthy, then Gainwell may be in the mix a little bit more. I'm gonna come down here a little bit and I'm gonna stretch it. I'm gonna just go in and reach. I should be taking. If you have CMC, you should be taking his backup because you already know. But this is a mock, so I'm not gonna do that. But if this was my real draft and I took CMC, I'm definitely prioritizing his backup. And you just be smart about when you prioritize his backup. Don't just reach for his backup, but prioritize him because you simply just never know. And I'm going to come all the way down here. I'm going to snatch up Marlon Mack. Marlon Mack can remain healthy this year. He's going to be good. Okay. But again, it's about his health. Health is wealth. Availability is important. We know that he is incapable of remaining healthy. So that has been his biggest issue. I'm going to come here and snatch up a quarterback. Now, don't know if Mills is going to have any value outside of this season, but if he plays well, then the Texans may just not even look at anyone else. So if he can play well, go on and do it. Go on and do it. Some other players, Jerry Judy is a player to check for. He's dealing with a groin injury right now. Hopefully, that doesn't turn into a nagging injury throughout the upcoming season. But he's playing with Russell Wilson, a legit quarterback. So barring any injuries, this should be Jerry Judy's best season of his young NFL career. Trey Lance, let's see. I don't care what the 49ers are saying. Trey Lance is going to be the starter, and they need to stop playing. They're going to start him, and he is going to be the guy. Simply what it is. I'm going to add me some more wide receivers here. I'll tell you, this rookie class was very deep at the wide receiver position. So if you can, go on and grab you some. You go on and grab you some. I'm trying to scroll down and see. Parrish Campbell is having a really good off season. So OTAs, check for him. Sammy Watkins, if he can remain healthy, he should definitely be in the mix because who else is out there? Okay, they don't have a lot. They simply don't. So this is a dynasty league, and I just happened to come across somebody I really love. Brevin Jordan should be the starter. So if you can pick him up, go on and pick him up. Okay, let's go back to some of these breakout players I mentioned. Again, Trey Lance, Kadarius Toney, if he can remain healthy, should be a breakout player for the New York Giants. We know he is capable of performing. He's just got to stay on the field. If he stays on the field, he should play well, especially if Daniel Jones can get him the ball. I am staying away from Baker Mayfield. Simply don't know what's going on here. Jared Goff, I'm just not high on him. I'm really curious to see what Daniel Jones is going to look like. Let's go to Marcus Mariota. Honestly, I think at some point Desmond Ridder is going to have some value and is going to get on the field. So if you can get Desmond Ridder, take a chance on him. Throw him in your taxi squad, whatever, because he's going to get that chance to play because they're going to want to know if they need to invest in a quarterback in the next draft. So check for Desmond Ridder. And this brings me to my top 5 rookie quarterbacks. It's Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis, Matt Corral, and Sam Howell. Okay, I had Malik Willis as my top prior to the draft, but we already know he's not even going to touch the field this year unless Tannehill gets hurt, and we don't want to see anyone get hurt. So, but yeah, I'm staying away from Jerome Ford. They have too many running backs and very, very good running backs. So that means he's not going to get on the field. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just go and grab me. Well, I thought I picked him. I'm going to take OBJ because this to me is that was the Jarvis Landry was an accidental pick, but I think Jarvis Landry is going to be in for a good season this year, which brings me to Michael Thomas. Still not ready. It's very concerning for me. He hasn't played in how long? However, he had the surgery a little bit later than expected. Hopefully he's ready to go at the start of the season because that's going to be crazy if he is unable to start the season because of that ankle. It seems to be a nagging situation and, his value has decreased. I'm not trading him because I need him to get on the field and perform before I can trade him. I have him in the league. I'll definitely consider trading him once he gets on the field and shows everybody he's still that guy. Also, keep in mind, Winston is going to get him the ball if he's able to get on the field. He's going to get Landry the ball, and he's also going to get Chris Olave the ball. If you can draft Chris Olave, you draft him. I really like Chris Olave, which brings me to my top 5 rookie wide receivers. I have obviously Drake London, and these rankings have changed with some new information coming out of OTAs and the rookie minicamp. So it's Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Treylon Burks, and he's dealing with asthma right now, and he's struggling, and Jameson Williams. So that is my top 5. And again, let's pick. I think KJ Hamler is going to have a good year. So that's somebody you guys can check for. Bryan Edwards being traded to Atlanta, he's going to play. So he's a player you can definitely consider as a sleeper. Abram Smith is a player. If I had Alvin Kamara, I would definitely consider him because you gotta think that with Alvin Kamara, there's gonna be some, there's some uncertainty there. Right now, I'm just gonna go and grab me a tight end. I'm gonna go with Austin Hooper here. Hayden Hurst should have a good season this year. There's gonna be those games where you don't know what to expect from him. Kind of like Uzamo this past season. There was games where you had him on your bench and he had 20 plus. Then you started him and he didn't do much. So that's the role I envision for Hayden Hurst. So I prefer Austin Hooper over him simply because I think Austin Hooper is going to be more involved. And you got to understand, again, Burks is struggling, so we don't know what's going to happen with him and how well he's going to play. Robert Woods, although he is back practicing, he's still recovering from knee injury. So that means that to me, Austin Hooper is going to be in the mix for some targets. So that's simply the reason why I'm drafting him over Hayden Hurst. Yes, we know that Cincinnati's going to have this high power offense. However, we got to talk about the order of which these players are going to receive their targets. It's obviously Chase. Okay, Chase is at the top of that. Then obviously it's going to be T. Higgins, and then you got to think about Boyd. I still put Mixon in the mix over Hayden Hurst. So Hayden Hurst at best is what fourth or fifth? That's a bit different with Austin Hooper, who I feel like he can be third in regards to targets. That's just better. That's better and more opportunity. I like the young rookie, Daniel Bellinger. So that's a young player you guys can check for. So I'm just going to just get to draft, and I'm holding up the computer from drafting. Do I see any young players right now I want to draft at the quarterback position? No. So I'm just going to come on over here, and I'm either going to go running back or I'm going to go, wide receiver. And I'm going to go and take a chance. Just taking a chance. Let's talk about with Drake London. I feel like he should be the first rookie wide receiver off the board in any of your Dynasty League rookie drafts. Just my opinion. Top 5. Well, a few of my favorite running backs. I got Brees Hall, Kenneth Walker, dealing with a hamstring. Penny's dealing with a hamstring. We know that Chris Carson, there's no timetable for him to return. I won't be surprised or I will not be shocked if he just simply does not return. Dealing with a neck injury. Had neck surgery. He's had some issues in the past with his neck. That is a serious, serious matter, which is why Kenneth Walker is in the building. Hopefully his hamstring holds up. Carson and Penny are unrestricted free agents after this season. So that's something you have to keep in mind. And again, Penny had a very good ending to the 2021 season. Only concern with him is he is always hurt. So Kenneth Walker should be on your radar. And I better get the drafting for the computer decides to tell me my time is up. And again, Abram's good for backing up Kamara. He was a undrafted free agent who got some undrafted rookie free agent who got some really high guarantees, and is a player that you should be considering based on things that is going on with Kamara. I like Rucker, so I'm going to snatch him up. I don't want to take on too many tight ends, but that is the nature of the story. These tight ends, this is a 2 tight end league, so I feel like in a 2 tight end league, can't have enough tight ends. Carson Strong is a player that I would take a chance on. Not saying he's ever going to see the field, but again, you can take him late as a rookie, undrafted, got some really good guarantees from the Eagles. Let's keep in mind, in our world, for fantasy purposes, Jalen Hurts is great. He scores, he gets us our points. He does what we need him to do. But in the NFL world, he's going to have to truly step his game up in order to keep his job. Doesn't mean that Strong is going to take his job because, Strong has had a few knee injuries. So, and he's undrafted. But he's a player you can just, again, throw in your taxi squad and just say, let's just have him sit in the taxi squad. So let's see. This is at the point of the draft where you just got to find solid player. Alan Lazard should be a player on your radar. Because, again, what do they really have out there in Green Bay? Very surprised that they didn't address that position a bit more. I'm going to come here. I don't like any of the quarterbacks right now. My best bet is going to be Abram or Kenyon Drake. Drake is another player who's always out, like Parrish Campbell. Adrian Green is probably going to see a little bit of time on the field. Marvin Jones is a player. I just really love what Marvin Jones does. Or I can come over here and grab me one of these tight ends. And I don't really want to grab a tight end, so I'm just going to come here and just add another running back. He's a player I'm going to throw in my taxi squad. Simple as that. You can see what everyone's doing. Everyone's trying to hurry up and get their players. As you can see, when you scroll, James White is still there. He won't be there that long. Kennedy Brooks, undrafted rookie, signed with the Eagles. Obviously, they feel like they can't have enough running backs, right? They Philly and the Patriots, they love their running backs, don't they? Harris is another running back to check for as well. I'm not high on Zay Jones, nor am I high on Washington or Pringle, but Pringle obviously is going to see an increase in his targets with the signing with the Bears, because it was like, well, who else did they really have? They didn't have anyone else, so they had to make moves, and they made a move. Let's see who. I'm not even gonna do a lot of scrolling. I'm gonna not taking Damian Williams. I'm just over the Zach Moss situation. I'm gonna go old as hell and just take James White. But let's talk about and I'm just gonna come down here late, just grab the young kid to add to my taxi squad. Let's talk about a few more of these undrafted rookies. Justin Smith, undrafted, but he signed with the Chiefs, so he's a player you should be checking for. Jalen Watermeyer signed with the Buffalo Bills, which is very good, so he's a player you should be checking for as well. Zenovian Knight is another player that signed. He signed with the Jets, I believe. So there are some young players. Tylen Wallace may see an uptick with the departure via trade of Hollywood. Somebody else at the wide receiver position is going to have to step up for the Ravens, and we'll just see who that is. Oh, let's touch on Naji Harris a bit. Pretty much saying he's not going to be on the field as much. I mean, when you think about who they have behind him, it's like, come on now. He's going to have to be on the field. Let's see. Right now, it's probably Benny Snell. He hasn't done much during his NFL career, so I don't see him taking any meaningful snaps. And you have Anthony McFarland, someone else who hasn't done much. They're not going to truly cut into any of Harris's production. The only thing that most people truly are concerned with is his age, and the fact that he had over 380 touches this past season as a rookie. That is extremely high, and I think that's the main reason they are trying to cut back, which is smart, because obviously we know the shelf life of a running back is short as hell. He's very physical. Running back position, obviously contact always, and football contact, high contact sport, but no, you simply cannot do that. He's going to be out. He's going to be washed up in another year or two if they keep doing that. So this is smart. This will extend his career, hopefully, and he's still going to be good. So I see a lot of people trading him, or concerned about the age, and it's just, don't be concerned about that. I'm going to reach all the way down here. I took Tutu, and that's just because they're talking about Tutu, but some other players I like out here, that's really all. This is at the stage of the draft where you're like, ooh, let's just skip, and that's where you look for some of the young rookies and add them to your taxi squad. Staying away from Jalen Rieger. Just most of these players are players that you're staying away from. So for me, I'm just gonna come here and just go young at the tight end position. I'm just gonna take a young tight end, and I'm gonna just add to my taxi squad. Again, most of these young players will be drafted. You see, this is pretty much the end of the draft, so all the talent is pretty much gone. So you're just hoping to add some value. And I say add some young players if you don't have any veterans available that you feel is worth taking up a roster spot. Because some of them ain't. George Pickens. You see what's going on with Johnson. So, George Pickens, remember that. Okay? Not high on any of the wide receivers for Seattle until I know who the quarterback's going to be. Simply don't trust Drew Lock. Geno obviously is slightly better, but if it ain't Russell Wilson, then I'm just over it. I'll wait until they get another quarterback. So yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that. Yeah. There's some other rookies who signed. You got Jerion Ely. He signed with the Chiefs as an undrafted rookie. Who else did they sign? Don't waste your time picking up Darius guys. Just don't do it. I watch people do that, and it's just like, come on now, don't do it. It's not. Okay, it ain't happening. Honestly, think this is going to be a mess though with I'm about to call him CMC with Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Ronald Jones, because it's like, who are you going to go with? Miko Hardman is going to get his opportunity to prove he is a number one. No. Although I think for the overall, I'll say this, for the Tyreek Hill trade to actually rebuild that defense, or I'll say build that defense, because it's never been truly that great. They had to make a move because, let's be clear, the defense is just the defense was terrible and wouldn't be able to keep up with Buffalo. I still don't think they'll be able to keep up with Buffalo, but I think that was the right move to add to make the trade and acquire all those assets to fill out the roster with more talent. Now, if you are down to the Bills, you simply don't have a Tyreek caliber player outside of Kels who's going to be able to, do what he did. Although I like Juju, he's simply not a number one. Right now you have a bunch of number 2s, 3s, and 4s. Simply put, I'm going to take Tyler Conklin. Think his stats will suffer a little bit this year because they obviously have a few tight ends on the Jets. Had a very good season last year with the Vikings, but he made the decision to go on to the Jets. So hopefully it'll work out for him, though. This hasn't been too bad. There's really nobody I want. But let's see. And no, he's not with them. I'm just gonna come. No, I do not want to go Gore. Trying to see if I can find a young quarterback I can just add to my taxi squad. Let's see. I'm here. Is one young, I can't remember his name, just signed with he signed with Seattle. So I'm trying to figure out his name so I can add him. If it comes to my mind, it will. Look at, they got Drew Brees back in here, y'all. Drew Brees is back in the building. So somebody did end up drafting Locke. I'm just not touching him. It's a no for me. It's a all the way hail to the no. So yeah, let me see if they added him to the team. I don't think they did. No, they did not add him. That is a young quarterback. If I can remember his name, y'all, I would let y'all know. Don't really know if he's going to be anything, but still at the end of the day, he's a young quarterback I can add to the taxi squad if I'm able to pick him up. If I can remember his name. The name slips my mind. He signed with Seattle. Don't necessarily believe he's going to get an opportunity, but again, you simply never know. You never know.
Come on.
Caleb. They drafted for me. Caleb Ellaby is who I was going to draft, and they went and draft. Okay, I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. All right, y'all. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that like button and leave some comments and let me know some of the players you are considering drafting. Let me know which quarterbacks you prefer to draft in a Superflex league and where. Do you truly believe the quarterback should be drafted in the first round in a Superflex or a 2-quarterback league? Y'all have a great weekend. And tune in next Friday for another mock draft. This time we're going to do a standard 1-quarterback league. Peace.